This story takes place 27 years after the First Corporate War. The Nest by Sean Carrière. Chapter 29. When Sam came down the last set of stairs into the bank, he could see everyone was sitting in a circle in the middle of the large room around a lantern and a box of Casey's protein shakes. He could also see the boss slouched in his chair, obviously passed out. Laura had her chair angled so she could speak with bench press while keeping the girl prisoner in her line of sight.
Think winning races is hard. Try dealing with perv-ass sponsors, always trying to get you to pose in bikinis or lingerie, or body paint in team colors.
Laura ranted.
Can you tell me what a 19-year-old girl wearing next to nothing has to do with selling car parts?
Bench press nodded sympathetically as he listened to the wheel woman sharing the highs and lows of her pre-corporate war racing career. The big man was grateful to Laura for keeping him awake. Unfortunately, bench press had never been a racing fan, and he desperately wished she'd think of something more interesting to talk about. Meanwhile, the girl prisoner sat perfectly still with her hands behind her back. Like before, the skinny Lil bomb maker didn't say a word and just stared at the closed oak doors at the front of the bank. Sam walked from the stairs toward the circle of chairs, spotted the puddle of puke in the middle of the floor and walked around it. No one had noticed Sam was in the room yet, and Laura continued to vent outrage that had been festering for over 3 decades.
I swear if them pricks had had their way, I would have been posing butt naked on the hood of my car and pouring motor oil all over myself,
said the wheel woman.
That sure would have gotten me to go out and buy some motor oil,
Sam said mockingly.
even if I didn't have a car.
Laura and bench press finally noticed Sam in the room as he walked past them toward the vault.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Laura barked at the team's breacher. Sam laughed as he reached the open door of the vault and peeked inside. Laying motionless on the floor was Danny Blue, the knockout concoction he'd been injected with still working its magic. Sam turned back around and walked over to the freestanding counter where he'd placed Mouse's improvised thermobaric device earlier. The breacher stood and stared at the cleverly put-together fuel air bomb, admiring it like a work of art. It had been a long time since anyone impressed Sam as much as their girl prisoner did. Not wanting to hear Laura tell another one of her racing stories, bench press waved for Sam to come and sit with them.
Yo Sam, come on over and have a Casey's,
bench press said over his suit's radio.
Don't mind if I do,
Sam said back. The breacher walked to the circle of chairs, took a seat next to bench press, and snatched himself one of the last protein shakes in the case. Sam slid the feed port on the front of his helmet open, pulled the straw on his can of Casey's, and slid it in through the port. With taste buds deadened by years of hard drug use, Sam didn't care how unappetizing the meal in a can was and sucked in a big old mouthful. He gulped down the whole shake in just 3 goes and tossed the empty can behind him as he slid his helmet's feed port closed again.
the two of you might as well get some sleep.
Sam said before burping like a trucker.
I'll keep an eye on the prisoner.
Surprised at Sam's uncharacteristic generosity, Laura sat up a little straighter.
What's your angle?
The wheel woman asked sharply.
I'm too wound up to sleep.
Sam answered honestly.
I ain't gonna be able to kick back and chill until we're out of the C-zone.
None of us are thrilled to be here.
Bench press responded.
The sooner we pop out the west end of the C-zone, the better.
It ain't the rads so much.
Laura added.
This whole damn place gives me the creeps.
A tense silence followed. No one wanted to say it out loud, but everybody knew something wasn't quite right. Even though it had been hours earlier, Danny Blue's warning about thousands of big fucking rats with big fucking teeth still echoed in the back of everyone's minds. Bench press finally broke the silence.
Since you're down here, Sam, you can entertain me until morning.
I'm flattered, but you ain't my type.
Sam quipped back while pretending to fan himself with his gloved hand.
The big man's got a concussion, and we can't let him go to sleep, you fucking idiot.
Laura snapped at Sam.
Ah shit.
Sam began to say with genuine embarrassment in his voice.
Sorry about that.
Laura thumbed at the girl prisoner sitting next to her before slouching back into her own chair as comfortably as she could, cushioned by the thick material of her radiation suit.
Don't forget to keep an eye on our prisoner here.
Laura said to Sam between yawns.
If I wake up to find she's built another bomb, I'm gonna blame you.
Sam would have loved to make some kind of smart-ass comeback, but Laura had every right to chew him out. The breacher still felt lower than the bottom half of a meadow muffin for not telling Kyle about the rainstorm west of their position before they'd reached the bridge.
If Kyle had known about the rain, would he have aborted the mission?
Sam wondered to himself.
If that were the case, we'd all be back in Iron Horse now.
Never one to dwell on what he called downer shit, Sam needed a distraction.
Hey, bench press.
Sam began.
Did I ever tell you about my cousin Walter?
Bench press knew that whenever Sam mentioned an obscure relative, it was just a lead-in for a cheesy joke. The kind of joke that draws groans and eye rolls rather than laughs and knee slaps. The big man suddenly found himself wanting to hear more of Laura's racing stories, but the wheel woman was already drifting off to dreamland.
What the hell?
Bench press thought to himself.
Only 5 more hours to go before sunup. No, Sam.
Bench press answered back in a labored tone.
I don't believe you've ever told me about your cousin Walter.
Try not to sound so enthusiastic, big man.
Sam said while taking the hint, but still choosing to ignore it.
Anyway, ever since my cousin Walter was a kid, his dream was to become a golf pro. Sadly, he never made it.
Despite himself, bench press's curiosity was piqued.
Okay, I'll play along.
The big man said to Sam.
Why didn't your cousin Walter make it as a golf pro?
Tragic injury.
Sam answered flatly.
Now, how the hell does someone get injured while playing golf?
Bench press asked, genuinely wanting to know. Sam finally delivered the dreaded punchline.
Poor guy fell off the ball washer.